the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
This was actually a really hard question for me because I feel like last year we just had a lot more star power. It kind of felt like it feels like half of the battle is kind of having a multi-year campaign when you're one of these like non-quarterback positions. And like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Brock Bowers like came in the season as such like big time, like known commodities. And even like a Quinshawn Junkins or somebody like that came in with a lot of hype. And Travion Henderson, like obviously those two guys now splitting carries, like it can't really be one of them. So they're two of the more big time playmakers in college football. I mean, I look at somebody like Caleb Downs, maybe
you're going safety.
Just somebody, because I mean, well, actually, have you heard the reports about him? But supposedly playing some running back.
Yeah, I'll believe when I see it.
Like, I don't know, but he's also maybe a kick returner, maybe a punt returner. So like that's, when you get the ball in your hands, you get a couple return touchdowns, that sort of thing. Like
if you're gonna go that route, Matt Green, you're missing an obvious choice here.
Who's that?
Travis Hunter.
Oh shoot, that's a good call.
Like if it's gonna, that was my first thought when I was thinking about this. I'm like,
is a huge part of the award too. But Travis Hunter is definitely a candidate. Also, like maybe a guy like Luther Burden, like Evan Stewart. Like I think they're probably like the best receiver. Like this last year's
Luther Burden's a sneaky good one. If Mizzou is a playoff team, which they are factor, like Brady Cook's not going to get Heisman love. Like it's one of those where you need a little bit of help with the narrative. Luther Burden could have the best receiver season in college football and not get overshadowed by his quarterback getting into New York. Like Brady Cook is not going to be a Heisman finalist.
Dylan Gabriel is coming in as like what a preseason top 3 or 4 Heisman odds or something like that. Yeah. So that's a good point. So he's already kind of got some of the Heisman love. But yeah, I think
I like the Burden one.
It's just going to take some sort of like a big time skill player, because I feel like last year, like it was one of the more loaded receiving groups like I can ever remember. Like with not only Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously Bowers didn't stay healthy the whole year, but Roma Dunze, like I think Roma Dunze had a case for finishing higher than Michael Penix. Like he should have been the one that was at the Heisman ceremony. Like Roma Dunze was just a beast last year. And then you had like Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas. Like there was a bunch of big time receivers, and we obviously saw it in the draft, like Xavier Worthy and A.D. Mitchell. Like we saw all these guys going in the first and second round, Lad McConkey. But I look at this group, it just feels like it's obvious. Obviously, this has always been a quarterback award. Not always. In recent history, it's been a quarterback award, but it feels like it now more than ever. Like there's just not as many like known commodities. Like Ollie Gordon obviously had a huge year last year. Like someone like Omarion Hampton or something from UNC, but like Oklahoma State and UNC aren't going to have the Heisman Trophy winner. Like I feel like we know that because they're not going to be top 10 teams next year. Like that's the team success is a huge part of it.
No, I don't disagree. There you go. I like it, Matt Green. Next up here, you get to hire. This was, I thought, could be really fun from your perspective here. You get to hire any head coach. Like you are running your own, like let's just pretend you have all the resources in the world at your school, Matt Green, and you're the guy in charge of hiring the head coach, the offensive coordinator for your school right now in college football. Who do you pick to run the defense, run the offense, and your perfect CEO head coach? Who do you pick?
I mean, am I just going to come off as like the biggest homer ever? Like,
I mean, if you just say Georgia's entire staff right now,
Smart, like he's the best coach in college football. You can't take anyone over him. I mean, can I get the whole band back together? Can I get Todd Monken and Dan Lanning on the staff and let's run it back?
You can.
I mean, I think that's probably as good of a staff as you could really assemble. Like, do I have to? Like, is Dan Lanning eligible since he's a head coach? Do I have to be?
He's eligible. You can go, but let's, for the sake of this game, it has to be a non-sitting head coach. Let's do that.
Let me just cancel out all the Georgia. Let me just remove the Georgia alliance. My red and black glasses here. I do actually have my red and black glasses here. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But So if I'm taking a coach that's not Kirby Smart right now in college football, like Kalen DeBoer obviously feels like the next, the next guy, but he still feels like too much of an unknown to me. But do I want Brian Kelly? I feel like Brian Kelly is like the most proven, but
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.